Mark, got an octopus.
Hold on.
Come up. It's going right under this rock. Hold on. Okay, get on this side. He's right here. Can you see his tentacles right there? Look at that. He's not moving. Oh, no, he is. Ready? All right, I'm flipping it back. Ready? There it is, right there. There it is. Look at that. As the waves crash down on the west coast, an entire world of creatures thrives beneath the water's surface. And as long as you arrive at low tide, you stand a very good chance of encountering some of them. We're at the peak of low tide, and as you can tell, it's still kind of dark out here, only about 6 o'clock in the morning, which is the perfect time to search for creatures because most of them are nocturnal. Let's head down here to the waterline and see what we can find. I love exploring the tide pools because you never know what you are going to come across. Yep, there's no question about it. We are definitely back in tide pool country. And that is kelp. And while some species can only be found far out at sea, the shoreline of San Pedro, California is always alive with aquatic encounters waiting to happen. It's just a matter of being in the right place at the right time. Check this out. You know what that is? Look at it moving. That is a sea cucumber. You know what's really cool about sea cucumbers is that they actually breathe through their butts. Let me see if I can pick him up here. He's probably gonna squirt out water. Watch this. Ooh, he's gummy. It's like a big gummy worm. Oh, look at that. Wow. That is cool looking. And he's all bumpy. And they can completely change the structure of their body. See how those spikes are starting to go away? When he's out of the water, he just kind of turns into a glob of goo. It looks like a pickle. Sea cucumber, not a vegetable, actually an animal. This ecosystem is incredibly diverse, from various crab species to giant black sea slugs. And there it is! Can I pick it up?
You can. It's totally safe.
And it's not gonna ink me.
It might be a little slimy, but that's it.
Whoa, look at that.
Whoa.
All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, is it slimy? Oh, look at that slug. Oh my gosh, it is heavy. I can feel him gripping onto my arm. I mean, I can feel him actually like wrapping around me. And while it's rather easy to come across slugs and crabs, there are also a handful of creatures that you must look more closely to find. Wow, look at that. This pool is filled with little tiny snails. It's like a whole society of them living in here. I feel like a giant right now, picking one up. Look how tiny that guy is. That is awesome. The Brittle Star, Navanax, Isopod, and Sea Star are just a few that look as if they are from a science fiction novel. The creation of Beyond the Tide was heavily influenced by one of my favorite books, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. As a kid, I often dreamed of encountering a giant tentacle-armed creature. And while I am not likely to see any monsters of the deep here in the tide pools, there is the chance of coming across the next best thing. That is, if I can catch one. Mark, got an octopus!
Hold on.
Come up. It's going right under this rock. Hold on. Okay, get on this side. He's right here. Can you see his tentacles right there? Look at that. He's not moving. Oh, no, he is. Ready? I'm flipping it back. Ready? There it is, right there. There it is. Look at that. Okay, I'm just gonna pick it up. I'm gonna pick it up before it gets underneath the rock.
Yep.
Look at that. Yes, there we go. That is a 2-spot octopus right there. Holy cow, does that feel weird? All those little suction cups going over my fingers. Wow, he is suctioned right to me. Look at that blob. All right, hand me the little container. We gotta get him back in water as quick as we can. All right, I'm gonna put my hands down in the water just like this and hold him there in position. Wow, is that not? Look like an alien from another planet. Look at that. Okay, I just got him cradled right in that water there. All right, you got an eye on him?
Yeah.
Watch him. I'm gonna fill this up with water. Hold on a second. Don't let him get away, Mark. Okay. You see him?
His camouflage is incredible.
That is amazing. Okay, let's just get a shot of that while you can see him there. camouflaged in. Look at how he can almost morph the shape of his body to fit all of these little plants. If you didn't know what you were looking at right there, you'd have no idea there was an octopus. Hold on, this might be a little cavern right here. I don't want him to get into that. All right, I'm gonna get him back on my hand. Hopefully not take a bite. And into the cube. Yes! Woo! Yes! Dude, that is our first octopus of Beyond the Tide. Look at that thing. All right, let's get up a little bit of ways from the edge of the water and get him in front of the cameras. This is so cool. There are no words that can describe how excited I am right now to have captured an octopus. Now this is the 2 spot, and the way that I know that is it has 2 very distinct blue rings on the side of its body. They almost look like a second set of eyes. This is used as a defensive tactic against predators. Let's say something comes in and says, that looks like something I will eat. This octopus will puff up its body, and those blue rings look like big spooky eyes that will potentially scare off something that's going to turn it into a meal. Now, one really cool feature about the octopus is its ability to camouflage with its environment. And you see it here inside this clear container, and it's pretty easy to see. But when they're out there in the tide pools, they can actually change the color of their skin to match the substrate that's around them. They're also able to completely morph the shape of their body to fit in between rocks and crevices. It makes these creatures incredibly difficult to capture. So when I flipped over that rock and I saw it, we had to move quick because they will squeeze right down into crevices and disappear. Now the octopus breaks down into 2 basic parts. The big pear shape on top, that's called the mantle, and then of course up front you have these tentacles. And they're covered in these little tiny suction cups. And they use those suction cups as tactile tools. It helps them sense their environment and also helps them taste and smell what it is that they're looking for when they're out there hunting. Now there are 2 methods that octopus use to capture their prey. They will either lie in ambush waiting for something to come to them, or they will aggressively pursue something they want to eat. And what they do is they'll wrap their tentacles around something really quickly, encompass it, and then use their beak to drill a hole into, like, let's say the shell of a mollusk, inject a toxin that causes paralysis, and then they're able to scoop out the body and eat it. Now, one thing that octopus are famous for is the fact that they can ink. And you may be saying to yourself, Coyote, how did you catch this creature and not have it ink all over you? Well, I'm not trying to eat the animal, and I was handling it as gently as possible. Now, when they actually exude that ink from their body, they don't shoot it out. They slowly leak it out, and then the siphon on the side of their body projects a jet stream of water that creates a cloud, allowing them to escape. That's one cool defensive tactic to be able to escape your potential predators.
So Coyote, why do we keep the octopus in a container like that?
Well, because this is an aquatic animal, it's real important for it to stay in the water as much as possible. It is breathing oxygen through the water, but I can't take it out of there. And I'm sure you guys are thinking to yourselves, what does that octopus feel like, Coyote? Let me try to coax it out here. There we go. Just want to be as gentle as possible. Got it. Ugh, look at that. And it feels like I've just sneezed into my hand and a giant booger is slinking across my hands. You don't believe me? Mark, stick your hand out there for everybody at home and tell them exactly what that octopus feels like.
Oh wow, it really does feel like a cold booger.
Doesn't it?
Oh wow, yeah, I can definitely feel the suction cups too.
One big suctiony, wiggly booger. Gross. And it doesn't really smell like anything, just like salt water. I'll put it back into the container there. Wow. Come here, you. That is one interesting looking creature. And I'm in complete awe of this animal right now. Now, this is considered to be one of the friendliest species of octopuses in the world. I don't know how you really gauge an octopus being friendly, but this is one species that is very commonly found in the pet trade, primarily because of their docile nature and the fact that they stay small. Now, here's something that's pretty cool. You may be thinking to yourself, is that a male or a female? Honestly, I do not know, but female octopuses are incredibly amazing mothers. They can lay up to 70,000 eggs at a time, and when they do lay their eggs, they sit there and protect them for as long as it takes for the babies to hatch. Now, sadly, a lot of times the mothers end up passing away because they exhaust themselves through starvation, but the positive is that nearly 70,000 baby octopuses can then head back off into the ocean to continue the life cycle.
Okay, do you have a question?
Yeah.
So, I keep hearing you say octopuses. Isn't it octopi?
No, that is one common misconception. Now, it is acceptable to say octopi, but the technical term for plural octopus is octopuses.
Wow.
Little interesting fact that maybe you didn't know. Well, at this point, I can see the tide coming back in over my shoulder, which means it's time to get this octopus back out into the ocean. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. In my opinion, the octopus is one of the most iconic ocean creatures, and they can be found in tide pools across the world. If you are out exploring, there's a good chance you will encounter one. However, be aware that all octopus species are venomous, and some can be incredibly toxic to humans. Therefore, if you see an octopus in the wild, it's always best to admire the animal in its natural setting. As long as you don't try to handle it, you are guaranteed to have a safe encounter. If you enjoyed this episode of Beyond the Tide, make sure to go back and watch as I got slimed by the world's largest slug species, the black sea hare. And don't forget, subscribe to the Brave Wilderness channel so you can join me and the crew on our next big adventure. I can feel him gripping onto my arm. I can feel him actually wrapping around me. He can't bite, right?
No, these guys are vegetarians. They mostly eat algae and kelp.